Hello, everyone, and welcome to NLP and the coronavirus day 44. 44 is one of my favorite numbers, actually, from a numerological point of view. It's a master number, and it adds up to 8, which obviously is big business, big money. But also because it's a 4 and a 4, then it has a deeper meaning, which is around a purpose or an intention of healing the inner child, which is obviously something we'll be talking about much more about in the numerology masterclass we've got coming up in a couple of weeks' time. So we're still going through the Kybalion by the 3 initiates. We're on law number 6. I've been doing quite a bit of electronics with you over the last 2, which I've really enjoyed. I'm working on a major project, which I think a lot of you will be interested in, which is the correspondence between electronics and particularly radio frequency electronics, AC electronics, and the universal laws. I think a number of people, when I put it in as a question, would you be interested, thought that was going to be a paid-for program. Now, I'm just doing that because I'm fascinated with it. I've been having so many insights, so many things coming up that I'm going to put that together as a video class, share my thoughts. I'm not going to do it as a live on Facebook because not everybody's going to be interested in it. So I'm probably just going to put that up on YouTube. But I'm working on that at the moment. I've been doing a lot of research over the weekend around radio frequencies and antennas and tuned circuits and all those kind of things. Great things I love doing. But anyway, so tonight we've got law number 6, cause and effect. Obviously, those of you who have studied NLP with me will already be familiar with the law of cause and effect. Those of you who've studied Huna with me will be aware of the law of cause and effect at a deeper level. But essentially what the Kybalion says is, for every cause, there is an effect. For every effect, there is a cause. And it's a law. So it basically says that luck, chance, whether it be good luck, good chance, bad luck, bad chance, just do not exist as far as the Hermetic laws of the universe. But it then throws in a different kind of level. Whereas it says that the majority of people are trapped in a particular level of cause and effect, a plane of cause and effect. Now, as we know, the majority of people on the planet, their experience is they're at the effect side of the equation. So their life, their experience is caused by external situations, circumstances, and people. We talked about this very, very early on in NLP and the coronavirus, as far as having to kind of detach the external environment with the lockdown, with coronavirus, etc., from our experience, particularly our emotional experience. And we talked a lot about that when we first started out. How many days? Well, we know how many days ago. It was 44 days ago since I started doing when I got back from London, but I'd already done 5 or 6 days when I was out in Hawaii. So we've got to be up to like 50 or so days since I started doing this. And so the majority of people have the belief that they are at the effect of external situations and circumstances. And we talked about the importance of putting ourselves on the cause side of the equation, as in we are the creator of our experiences, if you like. Now, the Kybalion goes a little bit further than that. Those of you who've read the book, because it's basically saying, so. And then with the law of correspondence and the planes of existence, which I'm going to take you through this evening, then, there is this plane of existence, which is our life is the effect of external situations, circumstances, and causes on this same plane. But now what we've got is there are different planes of existence because of the law of correspondence. And what the Kybalion says is that what the Hermeticists were able to do, using their mind, law number one, mentalism, was to actually raise their mind to a higher level, a higher plane of creation, and look at the causes at that level. Because it says, basically, it's a little bit like what Einstein was saying was, you'll never solve a problem with the level of thinking that created the problem in the first place, and that you need to jump a level. That's very much what the Kybalion is saying too. And so what we can do is we can get extra leverage by causing change on a higher level to then create change on a lower level. Now, that's just a theory. Now, I'm going to talk about this in a little bit more detail for you. Here's a diagram I prepared earlier in true Blue Peter fashion. So what we've got here is, in the middle here, is the planes of creation, of which, grossly we've got like the physical plane, a physical body, the physical existence, other physical people, the physical environment we live in, the physical buildings, people, physical situations, circumstances, etc. Even, COVID-19 would be on the physical level. So that's just one plane of existence, one plane of creation. Then we've got the emotional body, which is non-physical. We've got the mental body, and we've got the spiritual body. Now, these are the 7 planes of creation that the Kybalion and the Hermeticists talk about. Yep. The majority of people think that physical is the only thing that exists. Whereas from a Hermetic point of view, we've actually got 4 planes, but in actual fact, 7, because each of these non-physical bodies are divided into 2. We've got a lower emotional, upper emotional, lower mental, lower mental, upper mental, lower spiritual, and upper spiritual. And this is what they're talking about with the correspondence between the planes. And we've alluded to this before, because as we move up here, what we're doing is we're increasing the frequency, we're increasing the vibration as we move from here to here. Yeah. And there is a correspondence between each of these 7 levels, these 7 layers, in that what is up here is down here, and what is down here is up there. So, NLP says that, we can change our emotional and our mental state by changing our physiology. But then we also know that when we change our mental and emotional state, it changes our physiology. So that's what correspondence means. These things correspond with each other. They are linked. And so we are increasing frequency up here, increasing the rate of vibration up here, and we're decreasing the rate of vibration down here, which is why the physical body appears to be solid, though we talked about that in one of the earlier laws, that really this is 99% empty space that's just vibrating very, very quickly, so that it appears to be solid. And we talked about the fact that, when you go to sleep at night, where does your body go? It disappears. And then when you wake up in the morning, it goes like, it's back again. Yeah. And as we go up here, then we're increasing the frequency. So these do not appear to be physical. They do not appear to be real. They do not appear to be solid. Yeah. But when people have an experience of being able to see auras, for instance, which is one of the classes that we teach on Huna, then people begin to be able to see these bodies, even though they're not physical. Okay, and also there is a polarity. So think of this as we've used this metaphor already, the metaphor of the battery. Then there is a polarity between here and here. That's the pole within you. Yeah. And I use the battery as an example, just so you get the idea of positive and negative poles and polarity. Really, but that's a battery is DC. Whereas what we've already been talking about over the last couple of nights is the fact that really what we're talking about here is AC, alternating current, which is where the vibration and the frequency comes in. Because with direct current, there is no vibration, there is no frequency. Okay. Then, laws of correspondence. We've got a correspondence between the unconscious mind and the emotional body, the conscious mind and the mental body, and what you might call your higher self and your spiritual body. In Huna, one of the names for higher self would be Alma Kua, which loosely translates to totally trustworthy guardian parental spirit, or Kane, which is also the name of, in Huna and in Hawaii, of the creator of the universe. And so there's a correspondence here with those minds and those bodies. Now you notice I've drawn another line here because, and actually we could draw another line, which I'll just do right now. This is live. I've only just thought of this. Yeah, I've just disappeared out of camera. Sorry. There is also a correspondence here in that the mind above is in charge of the mind below, which means your conscious mind is in charge of your unconscious mind. Notice I use that word in charge of rather than in control. So I think all of us have had an experience of really wanting to control our unconscious mind and get it to do something that we wanted it to do, and it refused. I think, those of you who've been around little kids, whether they're yours or somebody else's, and you actually think, right, I'm in control of this 2 or 3 year old. And then you realize in actual fact, you're not in control of them at all. You're just in charge of them. So your conscious mind is in charge of your unconscious mind, but your conscious mind can't make your unconscious mind do things it doesn't want to do. And your higher self is in charge of your conscious mind and your unconscious mind, but equally your higher self can't make your conscious mind or unconscious mind do things that they don't want to do. So in charge of. But there is a correspondence between these three minds. Now you'll notice I've drawn a number of other arrows here as well. This is what the Kybalion was talking about, and really what we've got to think about with cause and effect and the law of correspondence, in that your unconscious mind is in control of your physical body. And now I'm using the word in control of your physical body. Those of you that have done master practitioner with me, particularly master hypnotist, and you've had an experience of doing full body catalepsy, where your unconscious mind has your body go totally stiff and rigid, as if it's a board and go between two chairs. That's what we mean by your unconscious mind is in control of your physical body. Your conscious mind is in control of your emotional body, which means that when you know how, you can use your conscious mind to release negative emotions like anger, sadness, fear, guilt, anxiety from your unconscious mind. You can have your conscious mind work with your unconscious mind, which is in your emotional body, to release things like limiting beliefs, limiting decisions. Yeah, like techniques like timeline therapy, mental emotional release, and cool. And therefore, your higher self is in control of your mental body. Now, this is what the Kybalion is talking about with cause and effect. We're talking about raising the idea of cause and effect to another level. Because normally what we talk about with cause and effect is we talk about cause and effect just being on one level. Like whether it be there's something physically causing us to experience something physically. There's something emotionally that's causing us to experience something emotionally. Something mentally which is causing us to experience something mentally. We normally talk about it in a very linear, very 3D, I guess, idea. Whereas what we've got in the Kybalion now is the idea of going to a level above, at least one level above, the level where we're experiencing the effect. So, like, for instance, if we just did our usual thing of physical, you've got, okay, this thing's happening on the physical plane. This is the effect. What do I physically need to do to change it? Great. That's fantastic. That's a way bigger leap, a way bigger step forward than the majority of people make around their life. Because the majority of people are going like, there's nothing I can do about it. Whereas even if you go cause and effect on the physical, you go, okay, somehow I've got this physical effect and somehow physically I'm creating it. So I need to change what I'm doing, do something different to create a different effect on the physical level. We might equally get like, okay, I've got this effect on the emotional level. So let's look for the cause on the emotional level and change the cause on the emotional level to change the effect on the emotional level. Again, the majority of people are at the effect of their emotions. They're at the effect of their thinking. They don't realize that they can actually put themselves on the cause side of the equation, change their emotions, change their thinking. Yeah. But now with what the Kybalion is saying is we can go another step beyond that. In that if there's something happening in the physical that isn't the way we want it, rather than just looking at the physical cause, we can look at the emotional cause. We can look at the mental cause. We wouldn't tend to look at the spiritual cause because the spiritual is infinite and perfect. So if there's something at the physical level, emotional level, mental level, then the cause wouldn't tend to be there. But what we can do, though, is go, right, okay, and this is where we get leverage. Because here we've got a one-on-one relationship, cause, effect. Here we've got cause, effect. Do you see the difference with that? We've got we can create a smaller change here that will create a bigger change here. Smaller change here that will create a bigger change here and an even bigger change here. That is what the Kybalion is talking about with the law of cause and effect, which is another dimension beyond what, for those of you who've done NLP training with me, will have covered. And again, obviously this is all mind. And again, what we've got the laws of correspondence, we've got the laws of vibration, we've got the laws of frequency, and we've got the laws of polarity all tie in. These laws are all starting to come together now and integrate in a really powerful, really useful way. So hope that was useful for you. Give me thumbs up that I'm on the right track for giving you the kind of things that you want. We've got one more law to do, which we'll do tomorrow, which I think is the law of gender. Don't know what that one could be about. And any questions, put them in the bottom there. If you're interested in that electronics and the 7 universal laws, then also just say, yes, me, please, whatever. So I'll make sure that I get that to you when I've filmed it and it's all uploaded onto YouTube. So there we go. Wherever you are in the world, love you lots. And hoo-ho.